At the 2026 Australian Athletics Championships, something unbelievable happened. An 18-year-old didn't just win a race, he changed the entire conversation around sprinting. Gout Gout, a name that's been building hype for years, just destroyed the 20-second barrier in the 200 meters. Not barely, not controversially, but in a way that made everyone stop and question what they just saw. 19.68 seconds, then corrected to 19.67. Legal wind. And just like that, sprinting had a new reality. But here's what makes this even crazier. This wasn't even supposed to be a historic race. One of the biggest names, Lachlan Kennedy, pulled out after running 2 brutal races the night before. A smart decision, but it left the field wide open. On Gout's inside was Aidan Murphy, a rising athlete with serious 400-meter strength. Around him were strong competitors. And on the outside, a dangerous starter known for explosive speed on the curve. Everything was set. The gun goes off. Gout attacks the bend, smooth, controlled, nothing extraordinary at first. Coming into the straight, Murphy is right there with him. For a moment, it looks like a real fight, but then the final 100 meters begin. And this is where everything changes. Gout doesn't just pull away, he separates in a way that doesn't look normal. Stride after stride, the gap grows. What was once even becomes a blowout. It's the kind of acceleration you almost never see. And when he crosses the line, the clock shows something unreal, 19.6. The stadium reaction is not just excitement, it's confusion. Because the first thought wasn't celebration, it was disbelief. There's no way that time stands. But it did. And with that single race, everything changed. Gout went from being one of the fastest young sprinters in the world to officially becoming the under 2200 meter world record holder, second fastest ever at that age. Only behind a time that was never officially recognized, which means right now he stands alone at the top. And of course, the comparison everyone keeps making is Usain Bolt. At 18 years old, Bolt was not running this fast. Not even close. Gout is already about a quarter of a second faster at the same age. And in sprinting, that difference is massive. Now let's be real, that there were doubters. People saying the hype around Gout was starting to fade, that maybe he wasn't developing the way people expected. But if you were paying attention, the signs were always there. He opened his season with a legal 10 flat in the 100 meters, one of the fastest times ever for an athlete his age. He ran races in poor conditions that didn't look impressive on paper, but hinted that something bigger was coming. You could feel it building. Just not like this, because this race didn't just produce one shocking result. It produced 7 personal bests out of 8 athletes. That's not normal. In fact, it's almost unheard of in a 200-meter race. The entire field improved dramatically at the same time. So what explains it? The most realistic answer is the wind, but not just a simple tailwind, a swirling wind effect. In the 200 meters, wind is only officially measured on the straight. What happens on the curve isn't recorded. And that day, conditions were inconsistent. Some races had strong headwinds, others had powerful tailwinds. So imagine this, a push on the curve helping athletes carry speed, then a tailwind on the straight pulling them forward. That combination can create something special. And that's likely what we saw. Now to be clear, the time is official. It counts. There's nothing fake about it. But even then, it feels like one of those rare moments where everything lined up perfectly, because just hours earlier, Gout ran 20.11 in the semifinal. Controlled, not even all out. And then suddenly he drops nearly half a second in the final. That kind of jump is extremely rare at this level. So the big question is, can he do it again? Right now it's hard to say it. Before this race, a 19.9 or maybe a 19.8 seemed realistic. But 19.6, that's a completely different level. And we can't ignore the rest of the field. Aidan Murphy ran 19.88, which is an incredible performance. And it might get overshadowed, but it shouldn't be. He's been improving all season, especially after running in tough conditions earlier in the year. So overall, the reaction to this race has been split. Some people see it as the arrival of a generational talent. Others believe it was a perfect combination of conditions. And honestly, it might be both. But one thing is certain, that the world is now watching Gout Gout very closely. Whether this was the beginning of a new era or just the perfect race at the perfect time, we witnessed something special. So now the question is yours. Was this the start of dominance or a once-in-a-lifetime performance? Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.